Did anyone else feel that electric jolt when NEURA pulled the cover off the 4NE1 Gen 3 at Automatica 2025? I swear, the moment those metallic fingers twitched and that fluid stride took its first few steps across the spotlighted stage, my jaw literally dropped. I've seen a lot of humanoid robot unveilings over the years, and yeah, most of them were impressive in their own ways, usually clunky, sometimes flashy, but always a bit more concept than reality. But this was something else entirely. It wasn't just about polished chrome or agile fingers. This was about a robot that felt, finally, ready for the real world. Not some lab demo, not a flashy dance. A working, thinking, adaptable machine ready to step into the environments where you and I live and work. And let me tell you, NEURA didn't just show up with a prototype. They arrived with a statement. From the moment the presentation started, you could feel the difference. The 4NE1 Generation 3 didn't just look better, it felt better. Not in a tactile way, of course, but in a deeply intuitive, this is finally happening sort of way. The design hit me first. The Gen 3 is leaner, more proportioned, and shockingly balanced. You know how some robots walk like they're always just one misstep away from toppling over? Not this one. The Gen 3 moved across the stage like it owned it. Every step confident, every pivot precise. You could almost forget it wasn't human if you squinted just a little. I caught myself doing that at least twice. And here's the kicker. It wasn't walking on some polished glass runway either. The stage had deliberate bumps and slight uneven patches. But Gen 3 handled it with ease, adjusting posture on the fly, never breaking stride. It's the kind of real-world stability that screams years of behind-the-scenes iteration and failure and tweaking until it's just right. I remember thinking, wait, is this thing actually deployment ready? And right on cue, NEURA's team confirmed it. Gen 3 isn't a lab prototype. It's a field bot, a worker. This robot wasn't designed just to show off at trade shows. It was built to solve problems where human labor is drying up fast. Warehouses, manufacturing floors, grocery chains, elder care. All those spaces where we've been trying to plug in automation but kept hitting the wall of unpredictability. This robot's designed for those spaces. And when I saw it interacting with a cluttered table during the demo, picking up irregular objects without missing a beat, navigating around unpredictable human movements, and even responding intelligently to spoken commands. No scripts, no remote triggers. I knew we were seeing something different. But here's the thing that absolutely blew my mind. It's not just about tasks, it's about interaction. The Gen 3 has these dynamic force feedback sensors in its limbs. Basically, if it's working next to a human and senses resistance, unexpected pressure, or even just something in its way, it reacts immediately. It adjusts. You could literally share a workspace with it without feeling nervous. That's how safe it's become. You know how big that is? In industries where space is tight and precision matters, like logistics or even front-of-house customer service, this level of safe, intelligent interaction is a total game changer. I kept waiting for the moment where something would go wrong, where a glitch would pop up or a handler would step in, but it never happened. During the entire live demo, Gen 3 performed with a kind of quiet confidence that honestly felt human, like it knew what it was doing. There was one moment, one of those that makes you sit forward in your seat, when it was asked to sort a box of parts that had been intentionally mislabeled. The catch? It couldn't rely on the written labels. It had to look at the parts, identify their actual size and shape, and sort them correctly based on that alone. No second attempt, no hard coding, just perception, decision-making, and real-time execution. And it nailed it. First try. At that point, I wasn't just watching a robot, I was watching autonomy in action. It wasn't a gimmick. It was a practical demonstration of what the next phase of human-robot interaction is going to look like. And NEURA didn't just rely on buzzwords like AI and machine learning, they showed it. The robot's running on a hybrid system, large pre-trained vision language models coupled with neural nets that have been fine-tuned through reinforcement learning. That means it not only knows what it's seeing, it understands what to do with it. And more impressively, it's always learning how to do it better. Now let's talk about what made everyone in the room quietly murmur, "Whoa!" Modularity. This thing has swappable end effectors. That means you can change out its hands or tools based on the job. Need it to gently sort tomatoes one day and stack crates the next? No problem, just snap on a new hand. And it doesn't require a full reboot or downtime, it just goes. That's the kind of plug-and-play flexibility that makes Gen 3 not just a robot, but a platform. You could deploy dozens across industries, each fine-tuned to specific tasks, all running on the same base architecture. I couldn't help but think, how many tasks are we about to automate finally, because now the tech is ready? Another question kept popping up in my mind: how do you keep something like this powered in real-life deployment? NEURA had an answer for that too: hot swappable battery packs. That means uptime can be extended without needing to shut the whole robot down. You swap the pack and the robot keeps running. No interruptions. It reminded me of Formula 1 pit stops. Quick, efficient, and designed for speed. The interface is another area where NEURA has quietly leapfrogged its competition. They didn't just build a robot and throw it at engineers. They thought about users. You can train or guide the Gen 3 using a simplified tablet interface. No code required, just intuitive commands and real-time interaction. For more technical teams, there's a full SDK. So whether you're a robotics engineer or just a warehouse operator with a tablet, Gen 3 can be part of your team. And that made me ask another question: why hasn't anyone else done this well before? I think the answer lies in NEURA's strategy. While some competitors were chasing flashy headlines and moonshot prototypes, NEURA was grinding, silently, methodically, towards something practical. They didn't want a viral video. They wanted a product that could plug into messy human environments and actually work. And from what I saw, they've done it. Oh, and you know what else they're working on? Swarm deployment. That's right. Multiple Gen 3 units communicating wirelessly, sharing tasks, adapting roles in real time. Picture this: one robot is picking, another is packing, a third is navigating inventory, and they're all in sync. No traffic jams, no overlaps, no dropped tasks. That's not just automation. That's distributed autonomy. And if NEURA cracks that at scale, it's going to fundamentally change how we think about labor. I couldn't help but compare them to the other players: Tesla's Optimus, Figure AI, Agility Robotics. All big names, all doing great work. But in terms of sheer safety, interface elegance, and deployment readiness, NEURA might just be pulling ahead, and you could feel that energy at Automatica 2025. It wasn't just about tech hype, it was about execution. There's a sense that Gen 3 is the beginning of something, not just a cool endpoint. And it got me thinking, how soon before we start seeing these in the wild? NEURA's team hinted at partnerships already underway. Logistics firms in Europe, real pilot programs, plans for manufacturing scale-up are already in motion. This isn't a vaporware concept, this is happening. Businesses are lining up because they're desperate for automation solutions that don't require massive infrastructure overhauls. Gen 3 is human-sized, human-shaped, and designed to blend right in. No cranes, no special cages, just slot it into the workflow and go. Still, I appreciated that NEURA wasn't pretending they've solved everything. They're continuing to refine motion control, object dexterity, long-term learning. They're gathering tons of real-world data to train and retrain the system. And they're investing heavily in support and onboarding, because they know that even the smartest robot in the world won't matter if nobody can figure out how to use it. One last thing that really made me stop and reflect: this isn't just a tech race anymore. It's a global race for labor solutions. Countries and companies that figure this out first, they're going to have a massive productivity edge, economic resilience, scalability without burnout. And the fact that NEURA is building for that world, that future, makes me think we're witnessing more than just a great robot launch. We're watching the early chapters of a fundamental shift in how work gets done. So yeah, NEURA 4NE1 Gen 3 didn't just show up. It showed intent, precision, vision, and most of all, readiness. And that's why everyone at Automatica 2025 was buzzing long after the lights dimmed. If you're even half as excited about the future of real-world robotics as I am, then you need to keep your eyes on NEURA, because the revolution, It's not coming someday. It's already here. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay ahead of the curve as the future of robotics unfolds, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a beat. I'll be covering more behind-the-scenes updates and exclusive field deployment soon, so stay tuned.